Tabloid is a word that is in very popular, well-known use now, but it's a relatively modern word. It came into being in the latter half of the 19th century as a sort of portmanteau description of a new type of medicine that was being marketed by what became known as the Wellcome Drugs Company, again, quite a well-known name. And it was a portmanteau word that described tablet and alkaloid. And it became into popular use as something that was a sort of concentrated form of almost anything. It had never been applied to newspapers. On the night of December 31st, 1900, on the eve of what was then considered to be the start of the new century, January the 1st, 1901, Alfred Harmsworth, who was the founder of the Daily Mail and a sort of dazzling genius of popular newspapers, was invited by Pulitzer, who was the editor of the New York World and the man who later gave his name to the Pulitzer Prize and founded the Columbia School of Journalism. And he asked Alfred Harmsworth to edit the edition of the New York World, which was a sort of popular newspaper in New York. And he asked him to basically edit the newspaper, gave him full control. And Harmsworth was a man of incredible self-confidence and self-belief, and he thought he could do anything. And he'd always propounded this idea of a more concentrated form of journalism. And he created the paper, and he put this manifesto on the front, and he said, and I'm quoting it, he said, "The world enters today upon the 20th or time-saving century. And I claim that by my system of condensed or tabloid journalism, hundreds of working hours can be saved each year. By glancing down the list of contents and following the arrangement of the pages, the outline of the day's news can be gathered in 60 seconds. And that was his manifesto, and he put it on the front page. And it sold out. I mean, they had to print a second edition. It was a sort of novelty in those days. And that was really where the word tabloid came from. But it later, of course, became to mean, small-sized newspapers. But its original conception was in a kind of condensed content rather than a kind of physical size of newspapers, which is how we know it today.